G'day and welcome everybody. Welcome to the 11th episode of Season 3. I hope you are all doing really well out there. Thank you for joining me in the live show tonight and taking time out of your day to be entertained, hopefully. I'm Purple Cashida, your host, and I'm hoping you're all set for another fun evening. Tonight I'll be chatting with James0116 from South Australia, and he's going to be talking to me about scouts and geocaching. So stick around for that chat there. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves as usual, but do keep it PG. There are children present or the young at heart. So please keep it respectful and no swearing. Put any questions you have in the chat room for James, and I will try and get them displayed on the screen. If I don't answer them in the show, that would be wonderful. We've also got another winner for the GDU calendar photo of the month. So don't miss that at the end of the show. We've also got some cool prizes. I've only just found out about a few of them, so that's pretty exciting as well. Big thanks to our Patreons and a special thanks to Lainey and LK Consulting Group for the marketing, mentoring, and the coaching program. Big thanks, John and Di from geostuff.com.au for their ongoing support with prizes each month and support there. Excellent. Okay. And big thanks to Mum, who is covering some of the costs to bring the podcast to you. All good. Okay. So let's have a quick run around the chat room and we will see who's here tonight. And let's have a little look see here. Okay. Who we got? Starting at the top here. Ozfox. All the way from Victoria, mate. Hope you're going well and staying out of the bad weather, hopefully. Darren Archer. All the way from Queensland. Thank you. And Sandy and Hev Walker is here. That's wonderful. Oh, you're down in Millicent tonight. Good job. And Thomas Jenkins, choo-choo. He's here. He's joining us. And who else have we got here? We got Kim Baker. We got Susan G. We got the Buggers in the house. Oh, dear. And who else we got? Houston, Texas, Dave, all the way from the USA. Nice and early for you, mate. I know we're now on daylight savings time, so maybe it's a little bit later for you today. Have a little sleep in maybe. Oh, nice. Excellent. All righty, what else have we got here? We got Founded Podcast made it live. Yoo-hoo! Patrick, all the way from Sweden. Thanks for joining us, mate. That's wicked cool. DTY. Yoo-hoo! Hope they're all enjoying the Chinese and champagne tonight. Who else? Oh, Julie and Kitty Catch. That's awesome. Enjoying the champers and the Chinese food. Jealous. Greg and Jen joining us from WA. That's awesome. Any Mules, g'day. Thanks for joining us. That's awesome. Excellent. Aquilus One is here. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Thanks for joining, love. That's awesome. Who else have we got here? Hey, Three Ferrets joining us on Facebook. That's a rare treat. Thank you very much for joining us live, love. Andrew Bush, g'day, mate, all the way from New Zealand. That's awesome. Who else have we got here? We got Pence people. G'day. Thanks for joining. Team Casho. Another one of my Patreons. That's wicked cool. Shawfoot24 from Phillip Island. That's wicked. Look who's here. It's Darkside Dead. Joining us live. That's wicked cool. Hey, Miss Joe from Victoria. Thanks for joining us. Oh, Snappy Tomcats is here. That's wicked. And Gay from the Northern Territory joining us from the Tweed Coast. Thanks for joining us live, love. That's great. Oh, Thomas, you're on the red wine. That's awesome, mate. That's good. Goes down well with the Chinese. That's wicked cool. All right, so let's get on with the show. Once again, we've got a lot to do and not much time to do it in. So thank you all for joining live. That is so cool. Stick around and you could be in the chance to win some prizes. But let's get on now. Let's get on to some news. There's not a lot, but we'll get on to the news. So here we go.
Hey, PCE, how's this for a location? Beautiful. You know what? This is my new backyard as well. Anyway, what have you got for us for news?
Hey, welcome back. Alrighty, what do we got here for news? Okay, coming up very, very soon indeed. Where has my banner gone? There it is. Okay, coming up next is the Whittlesea event in Victoria. That one is GC8EW40. Now, that one is on November 20, which is like 2 weeks away, two and a half weeks away. So if you haven't put your will attend in, do it now. You will not be sorry, I guarantee it. Geocaching Victoria put on a great event. So if you can, make your way down to Whittlesea. You won't be sorry. Alrighty, following on from that, I've got the Rutherglen event in Rutherglen, funnily enough. Who knew? That one will be held on the 6th to the 10th of April next year. So, got a little bit of forewarning of that one. That one is GC9. Oh, I can't even read my own writing here. GC9MH9M. Lots of M's for that one. So, once again, another event in Victoria. If you've got any more events, chuck them in the chat room. Chuck them in the chat room. Oh, John, no, unfortunately, I won't be making it to the Whittlesea event. I am sorry. Ah, dear, life gets in the way. Oh, well. Cool. Oh, young old fella has joined us. Thanks for joining us, mate. That is cool. And Isopeta, yes, Susan, yes. Thank you for joining us, love. That's so cool. And then a little bit further ahead, I've got the Capital Geobash, which is in Canberra. That one's going to be held on the Easter long weekend of 2024. So plenty of time to plan for that one. I am definitely planning on being there for that one, I'll tell you what. Oh, dear. Alrighty. So that is it for the news that I've got. I know there was another event, but I didn't get it in. There you go. Joe, thank you for popping in. Okay, if you want more information for the Whittlesea Mega, 2.5 weeks' time, go to geocachingvictoria.com.au/events/Whittlesea/. All of the details are there. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, let me have a quick look here. Oz Glory, thanks for joining us, love. Kim, I think you're after a code for the Rutherglen event. The Geobash, sorry. Not yet, but that will be coming soon as it gets published. I'm sure someone in the chat can let me know when that might be. Cool. Excellent. Oh, awesome. Patrick in Sweden, you're hosting an event next Sunday close to home. That's awesome. That's great. Oh, cool. Thanks, John. There's also a one-day Omega on the 29th of 2024. My goodness, not next year, the year after. There you go. That's wonderful. Cool. All right. Well, if you've got any other major events, pop them in the chat for the others to have a little look-see. Otherwise, let's quickly move on to the souvenirs. Let me get a lovely picture here for you. So, GC8 Neat is still going. That is running until December 31. So, you've still got a month and a half to get that one. All you need to do is show that you have improved an area by tidying it up. So, a before and after picture, planting trees, picking up rubbish, getting rid of graffiti, anything along those lines, and you can get a lovely souvenir there. Don't forget, Signals Labyrinth is still going. That started in April this year, and I believe it's going until the end of the year. Oh, I think it's actually going into next year. I think it's 12 months on that. So April next year. All you need to do is find a geocache, find an adventure lab, find a mysterious bonus item to collect souvenirs. So you will get a meta souvenir if you earn all 12 souvenirs, and you can help Signal escape the maze, which would be amazing. Crack myself up. Okay, so what do we got? We've also got Cash In, Trash Out. Season 2 is still running. That is available from September 1st through to November 30th. So you've still got half a month to get that one. And then recently we had International Earth Cache Day. Hopefully you all got your souvenir for that, but that one has passed. And then we've also got the Goodbye 2022 Hello New Year 2023. So that one that will be available from December 25 through 31. So you've got 5 or so days to get that one. So that's pretty cool. Excellent. Okay. So I think that should be all of the souvenirs. So let's get into the show, and our guest is not far away. So let's get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, muggles and geocachers, a big g'day from USA. I'm coming to you from Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, muggles and geocachers, a big g'day from USA. I'm coming to you from New Jersey, and I do miss you all. Meanwhile, is that time of the month, the time for PCE and the Geocaching Down Under podcast.
Yay, it sure is. It sure is that time of the month. Excellent, excellent. Well, as you know, I'm Purple Cash Eater, and tonight I'm joined by a special guest, James0116, all the way from South Australia. I'll be talking to James about scouts and geocaching in the scouts. If you've got any questions, put them in the chat room. I will pop them on the screen and get James to answer them for you. So feel free to do that. And without further ado, I will bring James to you. Ta-da! Hi, James. You're on mute at the moment, mate. Just take yourself.
Hello, everyone.
Awesome. How are you tonight?
Good. I'm very good, thank you.
That's good. That's good. Nice t-shirt weather where you are, I see.
It is very nice. I went for a bike ride earlier today. I nearly cooked myself, unfortunately.
Oh, really? Oh, dear. It's one of those days in the sun. Yeah, I can see a bit of sunburn there on the face. Oh, well, at least you enjoyed yourself and got outside. All righty. So let's get started with a nice, easy question for you. We'll ease you in, okay? So tell us, how did you get your geocaching name? How'd you come up with that?
So years and years ago, when I first made my account, I decided to put my name in, and people wonder why the numbers are that way. So the numbers
Yeah.
are that way because it's my birth month for January, and my birthday's the 16th. So 0116.
Excellent. There
Basically
you
in that
go.
order. It's really random.
Now we know your geocaching name and your birthday. You're going to get all of these well wishes on the 16th of Jan. I can just feel it.
Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. Nice and simple. I like that. So how long have you been geocaching for?
So the account officially opened in 2015. I think I might have logged one or two around about that time.
Yeah.
And then from there, stopped doing it for a bit. Then about late 2017, while I was at Timbertop where I wasn't allowed to use a phone, I started finding geocaches again.
Okay.
And from 2018 onwards, I really got into it.
Okay. All right. So been a while, but a little bit of a break in between. Oh dear. So how many finds and how many hides do you have? Do you know at the moment?
So I can tell you this, but I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I have 2,244 finds currently, plus I think 11 that aren't logged.
Okay.
And I was planning to do it beforehand, but due to today, I got a little bit tired and I forgot to log them at this point. And hide-wise, I got about 28-ish.
Nice.
That includes events that have already passed and adventure labs, of course.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, cool. So what got you into geocaching in the first place?
Well, funny you ask me this, PC, because the first introduction I ever had to geocaching was through Scouts.
Funny that.
Yeah, so
here we are. Oh, that's awesome. Excellent. And you've been hooked ever since.
Exactly.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I just got Houston, Texas Dave joining us on YouTube here. He says he traded path tags with you a few months ago.
I probably did. I've traded with a lot of people with path tags.
Oh, that's
hint for the end of the night, guys.
Yeah, those secret prizes. Nice. All right, well, let's get into why you are here tonight. So I've got you in to tell us about scouts and geocaching, and obviously geocaching in the scouts. So we know your caching name, but do you have a scout leader name?
Unfortunately, I do not. That is a to come in the future thing. As I say, I've only been a leader for 2 years, and you guys might be wondering why I'm wearing a red shirt instead of just a blue shirt. Just as a heads up, I'm also a youth member, so I'm in that one really weird category, which means I can be a youth and an adult all at once.
You get to choose whether you want to be the adult today or a child today.
Basically, yeah.
Love it. That's good. It's good to have options.
Till I'm 26, I get those options.
Oh, okay. Nice. So when do you get a scout leader name? Do you have to wait a bit, or?
It's really up to the person. So Cubs and Joeys, they used to be based on the Joey Scout program was around animals and helping other people. So people usually had Australian leader names, and the Cubs was based around around the Jungle Book. So people usually for their leader names would have like Car, Baloo, all that. As you get to Scouts and onwards, there's less and less actual specific linking to a program, which means they can either have their own name, say if they've got a really complex name, or they just we usually a little bit more chill as the kids get older because they usually find out our names pretty quickly anyway. Where the younger ones, they don't always find out their names as quickly. It's sort of preference. Most younger leaders will do the name thing for the fact that kids usually won't be able to say half the names. Where there's a lot of the programs in that, like koala, kangaroo, or roo, or baloo, they're all really simple to say names. Well,
okay, well that makes sense.
A lot of older kids can start to say your name pretty well.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll look forward to that. So where is your group located?
So my scout group is based at Hawthorn Scout Group in Hawthorn, South Australia. And my rover crew, unit that I'm with, we are located at Kilkenny Scout Hall near Kilkenny.
Okay. Nice.
So basically around near the city it is. So I'm where I live currently is about 5 minutes from the city. But as a rover, we can be anywhere in the state. And Scouts in South Australia, we are one of the few states that still has a lone scout group still in our state. So with us, New South Wales, I'm not entirely sure about WA, but look, I know those two states, our state and them, have specifically a lone scout group dedicated to scouts that cannot either make it to a scout group on a night or are too far away to get to one physically.
Right. Okay, so that's the lone scout.
Lone scout groups, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So how many scouts do you have in your section?
So currently we have 10, one that's linking up as well. And we're probably going to have about 3 or 4 more by the end of this term. It fluctuates. So 2 terms ago, we had only about 3.
Okay.
And now we have 10. Thanks to linking and more people coming along and finding they like scouts.
Well, I was going to say, I guess you get people obviously leaving scouts and then you obviously get new people joining scouts. So, yeah, I guess, depends.
So for Hawthorn currently only has a Joey Carbon Scout section. We don't have a Venture group. And in South Australia, Rovers are not directly through groups. We run under our own district, e.g. the Rover Scouts South Australia district.
Okay,
so
I'm gonna need you to explain these different sections to me. So there's different sections for different age groups. Is that right?
There are, correct.
Okay.
So there's Joey's, which comes from 5 to 7, and then you've got Cubs from 8 to 11. No, 8 to 10. Sorry. 8 to 10. Yes. Scouts from 11 to 14. Venturers from 15 to 17, with the exception of 12 year 12 students. They can go into their 18th year until they finished year 12. And then you've got Rovers, me, from 18 to 26. So once you hit 26, you're out. But before that, you can still be part of it.
Right. Okay. So once you reach 26, you can no longer be a scout?
You can no longer be a youth member.
Gotcha.
So you can be a leader. We always need more leaders. Every state will always ask, if you got time and you like kids, come and volunteer your time. We really could use your hand.
Okay. And you can volunteer at any age?
Pardon?
You can volunteer at any age?
Any age over the age of 18, you can be an adult leader.
Okay.
Any age in most states from about this last year of your scout section, you can become a youth helper. Around about that. Before that, you're a bit too young, which is why you're meant to be there as a scout, not as a volunteer. But any age, we have leaders. Like I know a guy. Shout out if he's on here by chance, Michael Woodward. He's a venture leader and a hiking person that I know is in his 80s. And I'm not trying to be ageist, but the point being, you can be any age. Now, a lot of the older guys usually don't come and help out at group level. They might only be a little bit less, a little bit more. But the point being, it can help. They can help out at big events such as jamborees or hopperies, ventures. They might help out at help out maintaining campsites. There might be wardens for locations of our campsites instead of being the guys that would, instead of being the ones that would be running nights all the time.
Mhm.
I mean, they'd be the ones that would fill in the gaps where we needed gaps filled for big events.
Excellent, excellent. So you mentioned there jamboree and what was it, hoppery?
You got cupperies, hopperies, jamborees. There's a lot of really weird names. So basically, jamboree is a big camp. It is that happens.
Right.
Was happening once every 3 years. Scouts
Yep.
Australia, I think, have just officially announced that they're going to do it once every 4 years, and that's going to be combined with Ventures, which is why I mentioned Venture. That used to be what was done.
Mhm.
The last one that was going to happen was going to be in 2021, but COVID cancelled. So unfortunately, that got cancelled on everyone. But with that, they're now going to be combined, and basically that's a 2 weeks, usually at the start of January, in a state. So for the last jamboree that went ahead before COVID, was here, funnily enough, in South Australia at Tailem Bend at the Bend Motorsport Park.
Okay.
So that was the last official full every state plus international people come along. It usually when a jamboree happens, you have your place you're in usually becomes the 10th or more or higher biggest population area in your state usually.
Oh,
That's
wow.
how big jamborees are. They're massive, really big. And if you can bring up Suzanne's one, yep. As Suzanne's here's mentioning, still having dust from the Tailem Bend in the tent. Basically, we nicknamed that Dust City because the fact being that the dust there was so bad that I have a photo. It's not really available, but it's me caked in like sunscreen and brown orange dirt, and I am a mess. This was back when I was a venturer and volunteering for that, but you can imagine me just covered in brown sunscreen dirt from 2 weeks of working there and living in a little tiny tent where if you tried to peg a tent peg in, it would bend in half, and you had to have these massive rock drills because anyone that lives up in Tailem Bend will tell you it is like rock. It's limestone rock that cannot be broken. We broke massive, like big drill pieces that were jackhammering it because of it.
Oh, that's yeah. Thanks for that, Isabella, and also got Lowen Wilson on YouTube. She's saying, "Hi, James. Nice to see you again. I'm new to checking in online, but cheers from the Northern Territory." So that's lovely. There we go. And Heather joining us, Head Walker joining us on YouTube. She said, "When my daughter attended the Elmore Jamboree, everything was covered in red dust and everything either went into the washing machine or into the bin."
So that's what was going to be, funnily enough, the 2022 Jamboree until it got cancelled. So there was meant to be a Jamboree at the start of this year, but unfortunately it got cancelled last year. So they usually, for us, every event I've had that since cancelled was usually cancelled about a year ahead, including what was going to be our alternative Jamboree here in South Australia called JamX. That also got cancelled. But the Victorian one still went ahead, called Vic Jam. That was held at Elmore, and from what I was told, it wasn't so dusty because they decided to grow grass at the place finally for once in the few years that they never grew grass. They decided to put some grass in and maintain the grass so it wouldn't become a dust city in the future at the site, because it was actually a public campground itself before that.
Right. Okay. So I presume that the gatherings, like the Jamboree and the Hoppery, they're different sizes of like attendees or different lengths of events?
Jamborees are big because they include around the country and the world. Hoppery and Cupperies are usually a bit smaller because usually they're only state-based. How many people go to Jamborees? I can give you the number on the last Jamboree. I can. From memory, it was over 1 million at least.
Holy mackerel! Over 1 million people.
As I said, it was the
And that's at the one time, is it?
Yeah.
Wow. That is a lot of people in a, in a little.
Let's say it became the 5th biggest place in South Australia in one day. Over 10,000 participants. That's just participants. And then there's also staff, volunteers who jamborees have their own radio station, their own newspaper. We have our own fire station on site. We have our own police station on site. We have our own hospital on site.
Yes.
Watered down, but still hospital on site.
Yeah.
So you'll find it's big. It's big.
Yeah.
Now, AJ 2019 wasn't exactly meant to be permanent, but if you were in New South Wales, like PCE here, if you went to Cataract Scout Park, that is a permanently set up or nearly permanent set up jamboree site where they have, which is their main camping area, which basically for them has all the facilities and equipment already put in place, except for removable things such as vehicles and that they'll bring in for the time.
Okay.
So as John's mentioned here, back in the 1967 one, there were that many people. As 10,000 participants for this one that was gone by in 2019. As we had people from Nepal, we had people from the US, we had people from a couple of other countries, UK, Canada. As I say, AJ 2019, I wasn't actually a participant there. I was a volunteer as a youth volunteer for that, helping run out a place called the Q. But yeah,
they certainly sound like they need a lot of help with volunteers. That's a lot of people to organise.
I tell you now, we always need more people. We never have enough leaders. If you're not a leader and you've got time and you'd like to become a leader, come and join us. We always need more volunteers. Always. Even if if a group doesn't need volunteers, they're either crazy or they, for some random reason, have way too many people already, which is a rarity. And if it's a rarity, ask them where they can help out in another way. So it might be for them, it might be saying, ask them if their state maybe needs more people in a certain activity that you can help out with.
That's cool. There we go. We got Candace B on YouTube. She said she did an international guide camp at Cataract in 1988, and we slept in old trains. It rained so much. Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, she's when she mentions that, I remember that being remember sort of what you're saying there, Candice, with AJ 2016, the jamboree I went to as a youth member. I'm not sure if anyone remembers from New South Wales, at least, the torrential rains of January in 2016 in New South Wales. But 2016 was I was in a tent at the bottom of a hill with all my other youth other friends, and we were soaked. We were soaking wet. We were in D602. Our name was D602, and unfortunately, we got the Silver Bucket Award for the wettest campsite. Oh,
my goodness, that's an award you don't want to win.
No, we do, and everyone knows about the Silver Bucket Award for that one. There's it's a known award for the wettest campsite. Which, unfortunately, for AJ 2019, we had the complete opposite. We had Dust City instead of the Silver Bucket Award. Dust City, for the fact that if you didn't come back with dust and everything and still dust in it, you're crazy.
Well, there you go. Isa Peter said she was at the top of the hill and she was still soaked, so don't feel too bad.
Yeah. And also, we had to peel all the stuff up to make sure we weren't being soaked either afterwards, and that was even worse.
I bet.
Anyway, I think you've got some more questions for me, don't you, PCE?
I do. And I'll just quickly do a shout out here. Ice Peter's put up, every scout group also needs a committee. So that is not in uniform and supports the group in the background. So if you don't want to be in uniform out the front, they need help in the background. So you can do that also.
We also need a lot of times help in the sense that because there's not enough leaders, if you've got, say, your kid in your group, or they need some more help, but they somehow have way too many leaders, but there's a position called an adult helper. Now that's a non-uniformed position where you're going to help out. You being checked for your police and working with children, whatever your state requires. But you can then help out with more activities. It covers their numbers. Sometimes for us, having too many leaders occasionally can be like cooks spoiling the broth. Where having adult helpers is a different situation because they're not. And this is on occasion where you know you're going to have too many leaders in a group for a small group.
Okay.
Where in that case, an adult helper can be a really large hand because, say, no parent or no other helper is available for that weekend or week. You can cover that to cover their ratio requirements, which is very crucial when it comes to the younger sections. Now, until a few years ago, you had to have in a Joey section 1 adult per 1 child.
Wow.
Now that has changed because no one ever covered that because we never have enough parents and enough leaders. So it's now gone up to 1 to 5. But even then, it's nearly never can be covered half the time, except for big events where they have enough leaders. So having more even adult helpers to a degree, if your group has already got enough leaders, can help out.
Excellent. That's good. I got Sarah Jones here from Facebook. She said Ballarat 92 rained for 10 days versus Sydney 96 where it rained only for 3. 92 was a lot wetter than 2016 and she was at both. So there you go.
Yeah. 16 was wet. It was more the fact that none of us could dry anything. But I do agree, Sarah. I wasn't around in 92 and I wasn't around in 96, unfortunately, because I wasn't born till 2002, so I was not in existence. So I cannot quote on that. I can quote on 16. I can quote on 19.
Yeah.
I can sort of quote on 22 due to being old enough to get on Facebook and see every single photo and the internet. But that's about it. That's all I can quote on, unfortunately.
So you raised a good point there, actually. How old, I know you ran through the ages before, but how old can a child be to join?
So a child can join at any age from age 5 upwards for Joeys, and under 26 for rovers like me. Right. But otherwise, it depends on their age bracket. So as I say, you can join at any age from 5 upwards. Now, depending on your state, some states will say your 5-year-old has to be in primary school already, I think, by that stage. Okay. Some are a bit different because it was only brought in a few years ago, the 5. Now, it's publicly shown as 5, but it's a bit of a still trial of where it fully sits.
So just check with your state as to what their regulations are.
Check your state and check your group. Some groups will say no way because, again, leader ratio, leader ratio meaning if you have 5-year-olds in a group, sometimes they'll say no just because unless they've got enough people to look after them, they won't do it. But from at least you're guaranteed from 6 and up. 5 is a bit Yes. And as I say, the only major cutoff dates for kids / youth is when you turn 18, you normally have to go straight to rovers, unless in this case, and this was brought in at least for South Australia, if not the rest of the country, unless you are still 18 when you're in year 12, and once you finish year 12, you technically are meant to move up to rovers. Okay. Now, there are some exceptions. Each state really has their own exceptions. Usually around about end of year events / what was going to be benches, now jamborees, in the sense that since they ran in January, a lot of times the state will decide if they're going to be allowed to attend them based on the fact that they finished, but it's their last event. So for us, most venturers, their last event, because they finished year 12 officially around October, start of November, and our big end of year year event for venturers is called Super Slash, which is usually on the first weekend of December. We usually, from memory, and don't quote me ever, we usually, if they were turned 18 during year 12 and they're still on ventures at that point, if they want to stay on, we'll usually let them stay on until that point. And then if at that point we would let them go up, or we'd say you need to move up, goodbye.
Yes.
And or unless there's another major event, say like JMX, Jamboree or something, where it's them being a participant And since a lot of kids have either missed out on things, like the Venturers originally were going to be coming to JMX as a partial participant because they missed out on Venture, they would be allowed for the fact that, especially with COVID, we've had to make more exceptions than before we used to.
And a bit
But
disruptive,
as I say,
wasn't it?
it's more of it's on a case-by-case basis usually. We don't put everything in as this is yes, this is no. It's case-by-case, determined by, used to be the BC Venturers, but due to the new program, determined by one of our other leaders who looks after these type of things.
Okay,
Not
cool.
exactly sure who it is.
Yeah, all right, cool. Well, tell me, have you introduced geocaching to your group?
So, funnily enough, you say that. I have.
Yes.
But not in probably the way we all see geocaching as a geocacher ourselves. I've introduced them to geocaching in my own sort of way, being putting out mini scout geocaches, not ones that are public, and taking them around and getting them to go sort of find them without a phone usually, only for the fact that a lot of our youth members, because I'm in the scout section, sometimes we're lucky and we have some with phones and we'll still use them, but not every youth, because especially since we have 11 to 14-year-olds, most kids might, when they start out in scouting, because we've got a youngish group generally always for some reason, we never seem to have that many olders. They don't have phones. They're using their parents' devices, and that makes it really hard to really show geocaching how we normally do it. And there are GPSs in the state we can borrow, but it takes time to organize that. Where using a bit of, say, map and compass with maybe print out Google Maps is even something you can do. So I've introduced them by doing sort of things like that. I've had prizes. I was trying to organize one of those prizes. I gave it to those youth members to use tonight, but unfortunately that prize I used has been discontinued by the World Scouting Organization. So I've had to improvise a little bit.
So do you cache under like the section name, or do they have their own accounts?
They do not have their own account, and minus the ones that the youth members that came with me to Runka Camp, which is a campsite up in the Riverlands, they have actually not found any official geocaches. They have found my own containers, which can be of use, but it's also good to introduce the geocaching. Now, unfortunately, my area, hint to any geocaches in the state of South Australia near me, there are a lot of geocaches in the area, but most of them aren't traditionals that really can be found terribly easily for youngish people. Now, I'm planning to try in the future hide one near there that's a bit of a gadget. But to try, some groups have got into geocaching and they have their own accounts. I'm not sure if Matty Cat's on this call, but he used to put some out for them. And there are some leaders that are geocaches, but they're not big into that. The only one I know that's big with their scouts, thanks, Ben M70. Little scout hint here. Dib, 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 dob, dob, dob. We all know that. Yeah, so basically, as Amy said, it's the home of puzzles, which for youth members, it's a bit of a challenge, because if you're trying to introduce them, it's a bit of a challenge. We've got to get them into the city or somewhere where it's a bit more, let's say, traditional friendly. But it's, as I say, we start, that's how I do it. I usually take them out, show them what it is. Some of them love it, some don't. The Clee Clan, as you say, is another group. There's Sea Scout 78 here in SA that also really gets into it. I don't know who he is, but I know he's based down at one of the Sea Scout groups down near Glenelg, a bit further north of that, from memory. But yeah, that's how I do it. So they don't have their own name. I've said if they want to do geocaching, under their parents' permission, because per the international rules of online uses, basically, in a lot of ways, you're not meant to have an account with anything, really, unless you're over 12 years old. Now, Scout starting at 11, that makes my challenge a little bit more challenging. So, under that point, it's usually done under a parent's family group. Now, I know there's one group in our Hawthorne family that has joined up and made an account, and they logged a few with us when we found them up at Runka.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's up to the person. So I would love to do a group one,
Yes.
but we're not at that level yet for our section, at least.
Okay. Excellent. All right. And I presume there's badges or patches or something that you can earn with
There are
Scouts?
badges in scouting. There are lots of badges, but not every badge can go towards geocaching.
Mhm.
And since the new program's changed, it's changed a lot of things where it used to be in some ways easier, and it's actually made some badges more easier to get with geocaching. Now,
Yes.
Crusty89, do you have a question? Because you put your hand up, but I have no clue what you're asking.
Okay, Krusty, you've got the floor. Tell us what the question is. We'll come back to you.
Okay, going back to it. Basically, there's from what I do know, there are two options. So it can be done as an SIA, as Suzanne is beating me to the gun.
Yeah.
An SIA or special interest area. There are 6 areas of SIAs. There's, and I'm going to cheat here again because I will not be able to list this without doing this, because I will sure enough muck it up because they are so annoying to remember all of these names. Of course, I'm going to be So you have adventure and sport, which is probably the most likely you're going to be listed under. Arts and literature, creating a better world, environment, growth and development, and STEM and innovation. Now, the point of these projects of SIAs is it can be anything you want under those areas. So geocaching could be adventure and sport, but it could also be any of these others, and it's based on your section, how they work. So say a Joey Scout, they only are going to do it for so they're only going to do it for like a few hours, where for Rover, a SIA project has to be at least 18 hours, at least. Okay. The only other linkage to in scouting with geocaching, funnily enough, is in scuba, funnily enough. I think it's stage 7 or 8 for OAS aquatics under the scuba category. You must either hide or find an underwater geocache. Now, there are only, from memory, about 5 or 6 underwater scuba geocaches in the country.
Right, okay, that's challenging.
Here in SA that I'm aware of, there are 1 to 2 in New South Wales, there's 1 to 2 in Victoria, and there might be 1 in WA, don't quote me. But they're the ones I know of. Yeah. I know there's 2 in SA. I know there's 2 to 3-ish between New South Wales and Victoria. They're based around ships.
Okay.
Yeah, Suzanne, you might be correct on that as well. I am not sure. Only way I know about this is through, I think, the attributes is the problem, because the problem is that some people don't list them as scuba ones and they call them something else, meaning it's a bit harder to find. But to my knowledge of ones that have at least been correctly attributed, there's only about 5 to 6 in the country, here in Australia.
Okay, that's challenging.
Now, the other thing with Scouts badges is that it used to be you had to do most badges while you were at Scouts or to do only with Scouts. It's changed a lot since our program review happened in 2019 and we changed over to a newer style program. Most badges can now be earned no matter what. So you can in some ways double dip with your schoolwork and your scouting. There's a few exceptions. There are a few small badges that say you've got to do it in scouting.
Right.
They're small things. But other than that, so say you did a project for geocaching for school and linked with scouting. If you present that to what we call your unit council and they approve it and you do it, you can earn both your schoolwork where you get marks and you can earn your badge. Now, the other badges, you've got special interest areas.
Yeah.
You've got OAS or outdoor adventure skills, which, as I say, there's loose ties to OAS in a lot of ways because geocaching is not linked into them, but as probably many geocacher knows, you're going to hike to a lot of those geocaches out in the wild. So you can, a lot of times you can link hiking to geocaching. You can link paddling to geocaching. There's not a direct link to geocaching for nearly all of the OAS, except in scuba under aquatics, which seems really, really weird.
Yes.
And I don't know when they did a program review. I don't know why geocaching got added there because nearly no state has a geocaching linked under them. They usually have it linked under their bushwalking team. So, would love to know who thought of that, but not my problem. Anyway, as most people that are scouting that have mentioned in the comments, a lot of times it's done through SIA. It can also be done in your program nights. As I mentioned, I've taken kids out and done geocaching. If they want to do that and organize a night, it can be done as a participate, lead, or assist for your milestones.
Yes.
If you could bring up Sarah Jones' post for a second on the bottom. So Sarah Jones has nicely enough done the research for me and not made me have to go through and find all these things. It's for all the hours for the special interest area time requirements. So as it says here, Joey's is 2 hours. That includes planning. That does not just mean doing it. Because in Scouts, we have a thing called plan, do, review. We plan our activity. We review our activity. We do our activity and we review it. And it's a cycle. It goes around and around in circles.
Yes.
So as you can see up here, so for a Joey Scout that probably can't keep their concentration for a while, 2 hour geocaching activity may not be practical in a lot of ways.
No, that's
for
right.
Joey. Sometimes it may not work. But for a Scout or even a Cub who's interested in it, there are plenty of ways that they can get involved with geocaching. Unofficially, there are badges, as everyone knows, fun badges. You can make your own badge.
Yep.
It can be an activity. Encourage your state to run a geocaching activity. Funnily enough, there is actually somewhere hidden in the murky waters. There is a Scouts Australia geocaching team.
Oh, really?
If any of them still exist, the people, reach out to me because I would love to get in contact with you guys because I'd love to get it going again in the future. But yeah, so it can be run, and there's lots of things. As everyone knows, there's tree climbing. There are requirements that make geocaching a bit harder in scouting because, well, health and safety. We have caches up 10-meter trees that people are expected to climb up. We can't always get kids to go in those trees because our policies say our insurance won't cover it. We'll have to pay expensive insurance. But we make it work. Now, climbing and all these other ones, there are, as I say, it can fit into nearly all of our OAS areas. So climbing, there are geocaches up in Morialta and up in Arapalis that I know about that are climbing caches. You've got the scuba ones. You've got bushwalking ones. You've got paddling ones. And you've got, thank you, Amy Mills, for them as well. You've got snow ones. So you can go up into the mountains and find them. Cross-country skiing. I've found 2 or 3 caches up going to the Bogong Rover Chalet up in the Bogong High Plains. There are 2 up there that I know of that are relatively snow easy access during that time, during the year. Like most of the other ones up there are relatively not accessible during the winter, but you can find at least 2 of them I know of because I physically have found them.
Okay.
One of them is a lot more effort than the other.
Note to players out there. One is harder than the other. Pick wisely.
Pick wisely or you're going to do a lot of digging.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, awesome. All right. Yes, that is right, DTY. All right. Well, that's actually all the questions I had for you today, James. Did we cover everything you wanted to let everyone know about in Scouts and Geocaching?
Well, nearly.
Yes.
I think there's one more thing I could cover quickly here that I think would be good to cover.
Yeah.
So Scouts, Scout movement is one of the oldest movements in the world of youth. So we've been around for over 100 years. So my group, for one, is the second oldest group in the state currently. We've only had one group before us have an anniversary before us. When I was a scout, funnily enough, when we had our anniversary, that's how old it is. A lot of groups are currently having their 100th anniversary, all like on and off throughout the last few years. I've been seeing a lot of them pop up because it's been over 100 years. Geocaching is only around for 20 years. Doesn't mean we can't move along with the times and find more exact activities. I say, geocaching used to be really big with scouting. Now, I know it's fallen back behind. In fact, there was a whole big competition. If anyone looks up geocaching, the great big geocaching competition 2013, there was a big geocaching competition with Scouts Australia. There were prizes to be bought and found, and there are containers that are specifically Scout ones and path tags and geocoins. Now, I only know of one container, and I know they exist, but I cannot find any path tags.
Right.
But if you find them, treasure them, take a photo, share it with the world, because they're a rarity to find anything scouting relating to geocaching these days, other than overseas. And the other thing with that, Scouts in Australia is not the only country to have it. As I said, we've got our Swedish friends on our channel here. They've mentioned Scouts over there. There are, funnily enough, there are geocaching badges for the UK, America. Get it out there. Get it. So get Australia. Let's get Australia getting geocaching, guys. Geocaching is a big thing, but it's not shown enough. We don't show it to the world. Let's get it out there. Absolutely. As a rover, I know of really 1 to 2 youth members that are big into geocaching. Azzo, if you're out there, yell out, mate. But other than that, there aren't that many that are big into it. Like, I'm probably, as I say to all the state, if you want SII as expert, you come talk to me, because most of the other geocaching people don't really put their hand up to say, hey, I'll help them teach geocaching. The bushwalking team will do that a bit because, well, they're bushwalking, they mainly have GPSs already. But it's not to the degree I will do it with. I will happily organize bring on the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, I think I've been hinted here. I'm going way too long. Okay.
We are running a smidgen late, but
do
that's
you want to bring up BTYs for a second? Yeah. I think I'm being hinted here that I'm talking way too long. So at this point, I'm going to say, bring it on, everyone. Encourage geocaching with scouting. And if you're guides, do it too. I haven't brought up guides, but guides are a big thing with scouts as well. If there's a guide leader that wants to bring up geocaching at one point, bring it on. As I only brought up scouts because, unfortunately, I'm not a female, which means I did not have the opportunity to become a Girl Guides. But as I say, times are changing, and there are more opportunities. Come on, everyone.
That's it. All right, well, let's wrap this up there. I don't see any more questions coming through in the chat room, and I've asked you everything that I had written down. So thank you very much, James, for answering all those questions. That was brilliant. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Stay with us and don't go anywhere. We're gonna get on to the prizes for you now as well. So actually, we're not going to do prizes next. We're going to do photo comp next, and then we'll get on to prizes. So please hold.
Do you think I've got a chance, do you reckon? What for? How about the calendar photo of the month? Let's see this month's winner.
Thank you, SMS. Alrighty, moving on to the photo competition of the month. So this one is for the October winner. Where are we? We're in November, so this is for the October winner. Let me just scrolling. Alrighty, so this is the winner here. Bada bing, bada boom. Hey, and I can't even find myself, but the crowd goes wild. There we go. All right, so this one has been submitted from Greg and Jen Reed of Western Australia. This is the Umferston sinkhole, which is GC1FZYO. Not 0O. This is an earth cache in Mount Gambier, South Australia. It's a super popular tourist attraction in Mount Gambier, and there is a whole bunch of information on the Facebook post that you can read up about a bit of history. You probably know this. You might even know of this, not even because of geocaching. But yeah, if you get a chance, go and check out the earth cache there at Mount Gambier. So congratulations to Greg and Jen Reed, Western Australia. I know you're watching live, so congratulations. That's so awesome. Thank you for submitting. You have won again. Oh, isn't that nice?
It's on my
Excellent.
wish list. It's
Yeah,
on my
yeah.
wish list, that one is. So,
Put it
gotta
on the wish list.
hopefully do it in a month or two, I will. So, good
That's
luck to me.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you can see your picture in the 2024 GDU calendar because we've just ticked over. And you can see the next photo comp, which is on Facebook. It is looking like this. Ba-ba-ba. It is pinned to the top of the Facebook page. So head over to Geocaching Down Under Facebook page. You can put your photo in the comments, give us the title, the GC code, a bit of information, a bit of a story, and then you can jump on and you can vote for your favorite. So you can submit a photo, vote for a favorite. It has to be your photo or have permission from the photo owner. So that is the photo comp for this month. So very big congratulations to Greg and Jen. That is wicked cool. Oh, yes. Now, quick update for the podcast Travel Bug Race. If you are new to the show and haven't seen the previous few episodes, Patrick from Found It Podcast, who is joining me live. Woohoo! That's right. Grub Fred, better late than never. Patrick from Found It Podcast released Travel Bug into the wild. Its mission was to get to me here in South Australia. I released one here in Australia with the mission to get to Patrick in Sweden. We let them go at roughly the same time, and we have been monitoring the access. We finally had some movement on the Australian one. Thank you, Jim and Appleford and the whole of Victoria. I'm just going to thank you all because you're amazing. So that has moved from its first cache and now is in the hands of Jam and Appleford. He is going to the Whittlesea Mega. Be there, grab the TB, put it in or take it with you when you get on the plane to go overseas, and let's get it to Sweden because I want to win. And hopefully these hand signals are helping you. I know they're helping me. So that should get that one moving. So the Australian one, the GDU goes to Sweden. That has gone roughly, I think, about 500-600 kilometers now. A little bit hard to tell as it's with someone not in a cache. And the Found It Podcast one has gone just under 1,000 kilometers so far. So that is also in the hands of someone. So I believe that the Found It Geocaching Podcast goes to Australia is still slightly in front. But fingers crossed, at the end of this month, someone will grab it at Whittlesea and take it further towards.
Do we have a map of its last travels, PCE?
Oh, you have to just embarrass me. I haven't updated it, but basically there's mine. It's still in Victoria and it's heading to the middle of Victoria where Whittlesea is. And the Found It Geocaching Podcast goes to Australia is still in Sweden somewhere, but I haven't actually checked today. So thank you.
Sorry, PCE.
Okay, we're swiftly moving on from the things that I haven't managed to get done, and let's get to the prizes for the month because I know that's what everyone's hanging around for. So here we go. Let's get started.
Oh, say, can you see? PCE, I heard that geostuff.com.au, that's right, geostuff.com.au is your main sponsor. How cool are they? Thank you so much to John and Di from geostuff.com.au. I heard you got some prizes this month. Let's get to the prizes.
Oh, yes, we do have some prizes. That is so cool. Alrighty, let's get started. I had a little bit of notice for this one, so I have managed to make a pretty little picture. So, prize number one. Now, there are 5 packs of these torches going out, generously donated by geostuff.com.au. So, in the pack is the UV torch, one on the left, the LED torch on the right. So you get both. You get an LED torch, you get a UV torch, and 5 people will be getting this this treat, this prize. So 5 people. Alrighty. So let's just get to the prizes. I know, right, Daniel? It is a really nice prize and will come in handy. Very handy indeed. Oh dear.
The torches are really good. They are, guys. They're really good. As a person that's seen them in use, they are really good.
Excellent. Well, there you go. You've now got you've got someone who can verify the quality of them. There you go. That's right. There you go. They do look great. Excellent. So, what we are going to do to draw these is we're going to do the famous wheel of names because everyone loves that one. That way, if you win, you will be eliminated and you can't win another one as well. So, once again, I have been furiously typing throughout the show, trying to get you all included in the wheel of names. So let me put it on the screen and you can quickly check and see if your name is there. And I will leave it like that so you can see. And I'll go back to the top of the list. Alrighty. So people on the list, if you can't see your name, let me know. That might be too small to see. Let me know. Let me go full screen. You might be able to see it better. Nope, that doesn't look better at all.
I'd say keep it sideways because you got the side list.
I was going to say that might help, actually. So let me know if you cannot see your name there. Night Shift, I haven't seen you. You're gone. If you're there, please let me know. Yep, Geo Joe, you're there. That's right. I am Coast, you were there. Wheel of Winningness. That's right, Any Mules. The Wheel of Winningness. We're all winning here. Sarah Anton, please hold.
Jono Morps.
I hope I got that right.
Locust Cache.
Locust Cache. No, Locust
I
Cache.
don't see you, K. You better,
I
better add K on there.
Didn't write that one. Remembered. Thank you. Bug, I'm pretty sure you were on there. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Where are you hiding? There, no. No, you're not. Oh, you've been removed. How rude. Some people. How rude of me. There you go. 1,000 apologies. Oh, Gliss. Snuck in, Sue. Thank you. Let me pop you in. Exclamation mark for the Gliss. There you go. Alrighty, who else have we got here? Jason Mueller. Please hold. Spread you all out a little bit. I'm going to check your spelling, Jason. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Where are you? And I think there was another name. Ba-ba-da-ba. Niblet Rice Cakes. All the way from Canberra. Niblet Rice Cakes. 1,000 apologies if I have spelt your name wrong, but as long as you can see and tell who it is. Loeen, I don't actually think, unless I've got your... Let's just do the quick one. Nope, I don't have you. Please hold. Sorry, I just have to keep jumping back and forwards between screens.
Tank Engine, I'm sorry to say, but you can only be in there once, mate. You can only be in there once.
It's Jono. Jono, you're in. La-di-da-di-da. Oh, I do already have you in. Okay, never mind.
Yes, low one is already in there. I'm sorry. I should be watching with you. And I'm
like
multitasking. And multitasking is not a
Excellent,
good
okay.
thing.
Okay, I think that is everybody. Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Candace. No Candace. Please hold. Speaking of, I don't think Darren is here. Hi, Darren. Margaret. Haven't seen Margaret. Hence people. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Roddy, I haven't seen Roddy. If you are watching live, Roddy, please let me know. Otherwise, you're gone. Glenn. Okay, wow, this is riveting watching, I must say. There you go. Alrighty, let's get on with it. Let's make this larger. I need the button. There is my button. Alrighty. James0116, birthday in January. Do you want to give us a countdown and we'll do the spin?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Woo! And we're off. Alrighty. Who is winning? Look at that. Krusty89. That's fantastic. Congratulations, Krusty89. Your name has gone on the list. So, getting rid of you. Next one. Let's go again in 3, 2, 1. Next winner, please. Wheel of names. The excitement is palpable. Who's it going to be? Heads, people, or Kitty Catch? I think it's going to be Kitty Catch. Oh, it's Kitty Cat.
Congratulations!
Look at that. That's awesome. Kitty Catch, you have won a wonderful prize pack of torches. That should get you out of the dark. Excellent. Okay, and we're going to go another one. Your name has been removed from the list, so you cannot win again. And the next winner is... Is it young old fella or is it Greg and Jen? Oh, who's it going to be? It's young old fella. Woohoo! Joining us from Queensland. That's awesome. Excellent. Congratulations, young old fella. You have won an LED torch and a UV torch. Congratulations. Oh, dear. Alrighty, let's go one more time. Winning another pack. Who's it going to be? Who we got here? Gabe Lanning. Oh, Gabe Lanning. That's awesome. Excellent. Congratulations, Gabe. You've won a UV torch and a LED torch for your collection. That's fantastic. Excellent. Alrighty. So one more to go. Number 5 in 3, 2, 1. Who's it going to be? Who is it going to be on the GDU Wheel of Names? We've got Oz Fox, or is it DTY, or is it Hem Walker? Who's it going to be? Is it going to stop on DTY? Oh, it's DTY. Oh, there you go. See? Chinese and wine has paid off tonight. There you go. That's awesome. Alrighty, congratulations to those winner. Krusty89, Kitty Cat, young old fella, Gabe Lanning, and DTY. You have won the awesome prize pack on behalf of you're on GDU from geostuff.com.au. You've won the UV torch and the LED torch pack. You get both packs, both torches in your pack. Congratulations. Alrighty, James, you're up. You are up.
I'm
so
up.
Tell us.
I'm gonna ask for the first one. Can you do a random pick one first? Because I'm still preparing my little backstory here.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, what I'll get you to do is I'll get you to talk us through the prize pack.
So, up for grabs, there are 2 prizes. 2, I say 2. You guys, up for grabs are a set of all of my path tags that are scouting. Sorry, guys in SA that want my ice cream tags. You can't get my ice cream tags. You'll get one of each of these ones that PC is flashing up on the screen currently. You'll also get yourself a nice little Scouts patch. Now, not official Scouts. I might include that. That might be a little extra. We'll see. It'll be up to me. But at that point... And then there'll be a little box that if you've got the picture for that PCE, do you have the little box?
I've got the Scout patch. So that is the Scout patch there. And then the box.
Groundspeak and the Hide a Cache small kit. Thank you to John and Died that helped me out with these, organizing these literally this morning. Like PCE, I've also been a bit behind the 8 ball. At least here in SA, I can just drive up and say, "Hey, can you help me?" For poor PCE, she has to make a phone call or an email. Well, anyway, so there's two prizes. One of them is going to be a question one.
Mm-hmm.
So to win that one, you have to answer the correct question first. And the second one is going to be random. But I am going to say the Wheel of Names is not included in this random, unfortunately.
Oh.
It has to be another random. Let's see. Let's have something a little bit more scouting themed for random.
Okay.
Something random. Something that anyone can go look up, and whatever seems the best to either PC or myself is picked.
Excellent.
Something random, but anything. But we'll start off. We're going to start off with the random one because, as I say, I'm still pre-preparing my a little spiel. E.g., I've got to try and blank out the answer so you guys don't see it on my spiel. So if you want to, so everyone, we're going to set up a minute timer, and you're going to put on. Everyone, go look up a random fact about scouting. Now, I'm sorry to everyone that isn't a scouting person. You're going to have to do a bit of research. I'm sorry, guys. This is part of the show.
That's
but
it.
You've got 1 minute starting when PCE says go.
Okay, you ask the question and then I will start the timer.
So the question to you guys is, what random fact can you tell me about scouting that you love?
Alrighty, and
this is how it's random. Something that we just watch and see what comes in. If I like it, well, if I don't like it, I like it. And if I don't, I don't.
1 minute starts now. Alrighty, so you can listen to the dulcet tunes of the GDU theme, which goes for about a minute. Alrighty, pop your answers.
I love it, Tank Engine. Love it, Tank Engine for the random one. They wear green. Unfortunately, we don't all wear green anymore. It's only the scout section that does. Indonesia has the highest number of scouts. I'll have to double check that. Baden Powell's nephew. Oh god, we had a jumble all at once.
Uh-oh.
We have to go through it. Baden Powell's nephew was a bad scout. I was not aware of that.
He was found the 1st of August, 1907.
Yes, that is correct. For Oz Fox, good job. Ogles are cool. Of course we have that one. Hazelbrook Scout Group turned 100 this year. Congratulations, Hazelbrook Scout Group. You can be a member of the Alpine Rover crew from Glen. I can be, but I cannot be because I haven't got that high up yet.
Alrighty, stop your answers now. The time is up. The time is up.
Okay. Out of this lot. Let's see. Who is our winner?
Okay, J. Edgar Hoover used to be Scouts. Fingerprinting database. There you go.
I knew about one of these, but I'm gonna pick. I've got to pick a good one here. Ozfox. I think congratulations. I'm not sure if you're scouting. I'm not sure if you're a scouting person or knew this, but I knew about that, and I wasn't expecting many people to tell me about this one. I wasn't expecting people to go that far into research. For the fact that there's more than one scout, which, good job, there is more than one scout. You're looking at one now, and there's more than this group.
I wonder if that's
true. But yes. Anyway, congratulations, Ozfox.
Ozfox, in for the win. Oh, dear.
Okay.
He will be thrilled with that prize. He loves partags. He loves them. So
now,
I wonder if that's true, Joe.
Now, I'm going to try and see if this will work for a second. Give me 1 sec, PC. I'm going to see if I can get this work.
Be prepared. Be prepared.
Let's see if this works. PCE.
Yes.
Pictures. I'm going to try. Hang on, I've got an idea. Share screen. We're going to share screen to make this work.
I feel like this is when it all goes horribly wrong.
This is where it does go horribly wrong. Oh, perfect. I can get the picture up exactly how I want it.
Even better.
Like so you guys can see in front of you currently, I'm pretty sure, this nice, let's see. How do I get this to go
There we go.
Anyway, thank you. You can currently see here our Scout logo for our Scout group. Minus a little bit that's in blue. That little bit in blue was the year that Hawthorne Scout Group was founded in South Australia. This is not Hawthorne Scout in Victoria. Do not get confused. Do not get confused with Victoria. We are South Australian. Your challenge is when I say go and PCE clicks the button to start watching for the old go, we're going to have it go, and whoever can give me the answer without putting it up yet will be great. So we're going to not include the person that's put up the answer yet. You might. You've left the competition. Whoever's put it up on the name names.
James, you were too slow. I'm guessing that it's already been guessed.
Okay. For the 2 people that have found it, congratulations. But who can find it? 1914 was when we opened. Congratulations, Heidi.
Heidi, congratulations.
You were the quickest person. Too quick for me to even let everyone else have a go because I was giving a little mini spiel on the prize.
Heidi, you were on it. Congratulations, Heidi. That's awesome. Rapidly Wild. Oh, you're on fire today, Rapidly Wild.
Unfortunately, Heather, you, I think, have found the other scout group in South Australia, Heather. There is one other scout group I told you about that was older than us. Heather, you might have found that. I'm not sure what group it is, but if you know what group it is, can you blurt it out? Anyway, so on our centenary in 2014, when I was a scout, we put out in the middle of our lawn, in the middle of our outdoor flag, we put out a time capsule to be opened in 100 years. So if anyone's somehow still around in 2014, being probably a young person like me, wants to come to Hawthorne Scout Group and see the 100-year-old time capsule get pulled up that I put stuff in, let me know.
There you go, people. If you want to see the what is it?
Time capsule. The 100-year-old time capsule from when I put stuff in myself when I was a scout.
Oh,
one of my scouting things is in there. I don't know what it is. I can't remember.
Be there for that, honestly. I'm going to forget what I did yesterday, let alone remember that one. All right, well, let's move on from that. So big congratulations to all the winners tonight. If you could get in contact with me, Krusty89 and Gabe Lanning, as I do not have your address, I will get your address from you. So if you want to just send me a message through Facebook or Messenger, that would be great. And then I can pass on the details and get those prizes out to you. So congratulations to everyone. And let's move on now. So if you enjoyed tonight's show, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell in the YouTube or Facebook. And so you don't miss out. You'll get a reminder each month as the show is coming on. Don't forget, if you've got a funny story or questions or you want to join me on the podcast, let me know at geocachingdownunder@gmail.com. That's it there. You can send me an email or you can just reach out on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, any of those. You can reach out and say, hi. That'd be fabulous. Let me know. I want to thank our sponsors. So massive thank you to Lainey Kelly and LK Consulting Group, geostuff.com.au, and thanks to Mum also for helping out with the monthly thing. And on to the Patreons. So thanks to the Patreons, and let's get on to the Patreon shout out.
Just before you leave, PC, I've got to say this to all those out there listening. A big thank you so much for continuation of your support for the Geocaching Down Under podcast. I think Purple Cache Eater, or as I call her, PCE, is doing an absolutely fantastic job. Now, if you think she's doing a very fantastic job as well, and as you should, then maybe you can skip one coffee a month and have a look at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/geocaching down under. If it's not that, then she'll put the link there somewhere. So make sure you go to Patreon at like $3 a month, less than a cup of coffee, and you can help support this particular good old Down Under Australian podcast. I know I'm a Patreon.
That's it. Thank you, SMS. Alrighty. So you can support the podcast by donating. You can donate a little. We've got 3 levels there. So for as little as $3 a month, you can support us there. I've just got a request here. Just please hold. Okay, please hold. I've just got to push up someone here. Where are you? There we go. Alrighty then. The 6th of Feb 1911 was when the first Hawthorne Company was founded in Victoria. What were you going to say about that one, James?
So Heather brought up that number before. So unfortunately, Heather, you found the Victorian one. Now, to the Heather and to that person there that has just commented, congratulations. You found Victoria's one. Not South Australia, but good job. If you also want to reach out to PCE after this with any info that you, and I might be able to share you something, slightly something.
Nice. So what do they got to do?
Just contact you and I'll try and get in contact with them.
Okay, no worries. Excellent.
Little mini bonus for finding out some extra information that I didn't even know about.
Well, there you go. Hey, excellent. That's awesome. All righty then. So moving on. Where was I? I was in the middle of my Patreons. Oh my god. All right, quick shout out Patreons. Righty, Patreons. See My Shell, Kitty Catch, Kingfisher AU, Snappy Tomcats, Julie, Darren Archer, Captain Riverman, DTY73, Wollaston, Banj 5150, Houston, Texas Dave, joining us nice and early, Founded Podcast from Sweden, Team Casho, Hev Walker, James sitting there in the hot seat, Darkside Dan, that's awesome. Nice one, Darkside Dan. We've also got Scramping. She is here live, joining us live. Yee-hoo. Mighty Minions, Lee737. We've also got Geo Joe. She's in the house too, which is super cool. Tattooed Squared, he might be at work, unfortunately. Contested Gliss is here with us. Allied Oz, Arnott Family, Cosmonaut 97. Isopita is joining us live. Thanks for all the help tonight, love. Oz Glory joining us live. Pilot Jen might catch us on the playback. Roddy C, hopefully he's feeling better. Young old fella, congratulations on the win. And Tank Engine, thanks for joining us live. Whew.
It feels like that list keeps getting longer and longer.
I know, isn't it awesome? That's so I can keep bringing you all this awesome, entertaining stuff.
I agree.
Oh, dear. Excellent. All righty. Well, that is big thanks to all of the Patreons. And thank you so much for everyone for being here live. Big thank you if you're watching the replay or if you're listening to it on your favorite podcast app later. You can watch the replay on YouTube or Facebook. Thanks to my sponsors, thanks to the Patreons, and thanks to you, precious earthling, for tuning in every month and making the show an adventure and so much fun. And James, big thank you to you for joining me live tonight, mate. Thank you.
Thank you so much for letting me be on the show. It was an honor and a pleasure to actually get Scouts and Geocaching back up and running. We don't get enough talk in geocaching to anyone else other than ourselves, I feel, half the time. So getting it out there. Small little hint, I think, as well. I'm not sure if the Whittlesea people can clarify this for me, but I think we're helping out with them with the Scouts over in Whittlesea with their project with the Saito, funnily enough. So heads up, help out, come to the Whittlesea event. You may or may not see some Scouts there, I'm not sure, but you'll be helping out scouting in another way with their projects.
Oh, that's excellent. Oh, that's so good to hear. All right, well, we've got to go because time is escaping us, and I've got a date with a telescope and a blood moon because tonight's the blood moon, total lunar eclipse, and that's where the sun and the moon and earth align, and we get to see a blood moon. So get outside tonight, all of us geeks here, we got our telescopes, and go and have a look at the lunar eclipse. It's going to be awesome. So hope you all have a great night, and I will see you on the 13th of December. I'm PCE from GDU, and it's been fun, and remember to get lost, to get found with GDU. See ya. Awesome. Alrighty. Who's still in the chat room? Oh, Heidi, it's behind clouds. Unbelievable.
I think this is the blood moon, isn't it? It's the last lunar eclipse for about 15 years, isn't it? That can be seen in Australia, isn't it?
I think it's 2025. I think is the next one.
I thought it was longer.
I don't know.
Maybe not. I saw a post from Scouts, but of course, that's the good thing about being on Scouts. We get posts about everything.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Thank you, Gliss. That's awesome. Who else have we got here? Yo, we've got clear skies down in South Australia. That's awesome. Clear here. Thank you. Thanks, Hev. Glad you enjoyed the show and your enthusiasm, James. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you
it
to
was.
everyone
Yeah.
that's liking it. There you go,
The next
2020.
lunar is 2025. So, yeah, 3 years. I thought so. Not too far, but
It'll be after all the megas are gone, unfortunately, that we
yeah.
know about.
Yeah, that's right. And Sweden's in sunshine, so they can't see it at the moment.
It'll be another time for them.
You're welcome, D2Y. Congrats on the win. Congrats on the win. Who else have we got here? Thanks, James. Great ambassador for the Scouts. Thanks, Isa Peter.
Thank you.
That's awesome. And Team Casho, thanks for the night. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that and learned a few things. I know I sure did. I didn't know anything about Scouts or anything like that before tonight. So thank you. That's it. Yeah, go howl at the sun instead. That'd be good.
The other thing I might as well mention to anyone left behind,
Yeah.
you don't even have to join Scouts to help out with them. Yeah, as I
Okay.
mentioned earlier. So if you guys are interested, ask your local Scout group, contact them, see if you say, hey, I'd love to maybe host a geocaching night, teach kids about geocaching. Those groups may love you if the kids are a bit stuck on ideas and they want some. Having a group visit it sometimes, even for the younger kids, is really good. Just having someone that can talk to them and tell them all about something.
Yeah,
Sometimes
that's
it's a
right.
good thing to have.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, once again, James, thank you very much. It was very informative and very knowledgeable. So thank you. Appreciate that. And
You're
yeah.
welcome.
Well, we might end the broadcast here, guys. So hopefully everybody out there has had a great entertaining night, learned something new, maybe even got some new Scout people out of it. Might never know.
If anyone wants to trade path tags with me, hit me up. I'd love to trade with you. Hint,
One
hint,
last
nudge,
time.
nudge.
No, James loves his bar tags. All right, get in contact with James 0116. Send a message through geocaching or on Messenger or something, and he would love to do a swap. There you go. Might do that for the Mount Gambier Scout group, James. Thank you.
Good idea, Heather. Get on board with that. They will love it, I promise you. There's a lot of Scout groups that like the leaders don't have much clue, and then all of a sudden you bring it to kids and they enjoy it. They really do. There's a lot of groups in South Australia that want to run stuff like this, but they don't know about it. And once they find out it's a big hit, because it's, I'd say, the last really big hit with geocaching and scouting was around about 2013, and it's fallen off the bandwagon. So
Yeah.
if you get it back into scouting in a lot of groups, they probably will go at it more. It's just no one knows about it. It's, as I say, I think us geocachers have been a bit shy over the last few years to outsiders of groups of youngins.
Yeah.
And there's a slight problem with that, because if we don't introduce the young generation, it's not going to continue, and our hobby will die. So
That's it.
keep it going. Keep
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Well, I will leave you there. Get outside. Go have a look at the moon if you can. Thank you, James. And I hope everyone has a good night. And we will see you in December for the Christmas show, everybody. Have a great month, guys. See ya.
See ya. Bye.